This severe thunderstorm then just to the southwest of Rockville. These warnings associated with a complex or a larger area of thunderstorms south and east of Indy. Okay, now what's changed with this? Notice this little marker here giving us an indication that it potentially is producing a tornado just to the southwest of Rockville and north of Terre Haute. I'm going to walk over to my controls right along 41. The storm has slowed down a bit as far as its movement to the south and east at about 20 miles per hour. You should be in the basement of your home, the lowest level of your home. The storm moving to the southeast at 31. Rosedale, Otter Creek, Sealyville, Staunton in the path of this storm capable of producing a tornado. Did produce over 2-inch diameter hail associated with it. We go in a little bit closer. This has been the persistent signature of rotation within the storm, giving it the real potential to produce a tornado. In this situation, there are storm spotters that are trying to get view of this themselves, not just using technology, but with the heavy rainfall, it's hard to do. There's your circulation, the red, to like the taillights on a car, moving away from the radar, the green toward. This is right along 41, just to the southwest of Rockville. You should be in the basement of your home. The safest place to be if you don't have a basement, an interior hallway or bathroom away from windows. Anytime we see tornado damage pictures, you look at the upper levels of a home, oftentimes the roof is removed. It's the interior portions of the home where you are the safest. Clay County, Brazil, heads up. Those of you anywhere just to the north of Terre Haute and Vigo County should seek shelter immediately as well. Very dangerous storm moving to the south and east. We storm track it at about 30 miles per hour. There are the towns in the path: Rosedale, Mansfield, onto Burnett, Sealyville, Brazil, which is northern Clay County, as the storm moves to the south and east. This is all by itself. And you may think at first, well, that's a good sign, but what it does, it's a steady state storm. It's able to continue on its own without going through the normal life cycle of a thunderstorm. It doesn't collapse. Typically, a thunderstorm, you get the heavy rainfall, that's the beginning of the end. But here, the warm, moist air feeding it is separated from that heavy rain, and it's able to go on for hours and is more likely to produce severe weather. In this case, potential tornado right now just to the southwest of Rockville. These storms anywhere south and east of Indy producing some damaging wind. We'll be back with the latest information in a second on the Park County and northern Vermilion County storm.
And new at 6 surveillance video shows the moments just before a break-in at a home on the near north side. The two people seen here stole several items from the home in the Heron Morton neighborhood, and they did it in broad daylight. Police say this is becoming more common. RTV6's Paris Lubell explains how you can protect your property.
It's here in the Heron Morton neighborhood that's seen a lot of transition over the past few years, but with an increase in break-ins, some people say Metro Police need to do more to patrol the area.
We saw the potential of the neighborhood.
Wayne Patrick has lived in the neighborhood for a while.
1983.
How has this neighborhood changed in those years?
It's amazing. It's phenomenal. It's a 180-degree difference.
It's changed a lot.
When we first moved into this neighborhood, the police still called this neighborhood Dodge City. Yes, exactly. It was the highest crime rate neighborhood in the city.
Nowadays, police say it's one of the safer neighborhoods in the city.
This neighborhood has now gotten to the point where there is value and there are people here who have things, and that's why we have that issue.
This morning proved that point. Right before 8:30, this video was captured on a Ring doorbell in the 1900 block of North New Jersey. Moments later, the home's ADT alarm sounding and police responding to find a broken window and items inside missing.
Probably until that happened right next door to us, I didn't feel unsafe. Now, broad daylight. My husband's retired, so he's home all the time. So it kind of gives you a different perspective on what could happen to you.
And break-ins are happening more frequently in the area. Crime statistics we pulled from the city show nearly 175 reported incidents of break-ins to vehicles and homes in a 6-block radius of this morning's burglary since the middle of November.
A crime of opportunity. People know that a lot of people are at work from 9 to noon, or the kids are gone, or etc.
While some in the community call for more patrols, police say every neighborhood can be a victim to crimes like this, and it can happen in an instant. But they say you can help curb it simply by knowing your community.
Even if you don't like your neighbor, I don't care. Go knock on the door, get to know your neighbors, wave and say hello, know what shifts they work.
And also by being aware.
To be nosy, to be nibby. That's what we want. You don't have to go out and get involved. Call us, call the neighbors.
Metro Police say if you happen to see a crime in progress, make sure you call 911 right away and report as much information as possible. You can also go to their website and request to have increased patrols in your neighborhood. Reporting tonight, Paris Lubell, RTV6.
Tonight, a West Side community is coming together and focusing on building stronger relationships with their neighbors. The Lynn Park project is part of a larger effort to reduce crime and encourage kids to be active. RTV6's Nicole Griffin is finding out it's an effort they believe is working. They now have a call to action for other neighborhoods across the city.
Bringing a community back together. That is the entire mission behind the Lynn Park project. And it's one that a local man who grew up right here in this Hallville community is passionate about.
It's bigger than what I ever thought it would be.
It started as just an idea 3 years ago. A small group gathering at Lynn's Park, or Lynn Park as they've always called it, playing cards and having a barbecue.
An easy way of explaining this is probably bringing unity to the community.
Tedrick Hardy is the man behind the Lynn Park project. For him, it's all about the kids.
A lot of different activities from basketball camps, volleyball games, kickball games. Kids get to play with other kids. Like, that don't happen nowadays.
Hardy was born and raised in Hallville. Over the years, he spent a lot of time at the park.
It's kind of dope now when I see the kids getting up and down. I'd be like, dang, that was definitely me. And I see me doing the little moves.
He played high school basketball at Ben Davis, moving on to play in college and eventually professionally in Mexico. But now, as he returns back home, he's focusing on his community, a neighborhood that he says made him who he is today.
I feel like this is community like any other community. We face the same struggles. The highlight for me is Hallville is more like a brotherhood with a lot of things.
He believes the Lynn Park project is serving a bigger purpose, continuing to strengthen the bond between neighbors and ultimately reduce crime.
A lot of people know this area and what they heard, but when you come out here and you see all the people standing around and shooting basketballs and actually playing the games and interacting and bringing in the hot dogs and the waters and the Gatorades, you know, you're like, oh, wow. You know, this ain't what we used to hearing in the last few years from this community, so.
He now hopes other communities that are facing their own struggles take the model he is using and do the same thing in their neighborhood. Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Nicole, thank you. And coming up tonight at 7 as the Lynn Park project continues at Lens Park, Hardy says they need improvements made. They have only one trash can and very limited of space for people to sit. We reached out to Indy Parks and we're getting results.
The tornado warning has been expanded and the time limit extended in Vermilion Park, now into Vigo, and then also Clay County is the tornado warning in effect. Thunderstorm warning stretch from Indy all the way to Greensburg along I-74, along I-65, damaging wind potential, torrential rain from Indianapolis through Edinburgh down to Columbus and nearly Seymour. There's your warning. That's for the next 35 minutes. Will take us to 6:45. Clay, Park, Vermilion, and Vigo counties. Tennis ball size hail was reported near Dana in Vermilion County just a little bit ago. From Rockville to Terre Haute, the core of the storm now just along and east of 41. This has been a persistent signature of a potential tornado within this. Storm spotters have reported for a couple of hours now rotation within the storm. Just to take a look here, a little broader rotation showing up just along 41 southwest of Rockville, northeast of Terre Haute as it continues to slide to the south and east. I put it in motion. You can see how quickly it's moving. Brazil back to Terre Haute. Be especially careful as this approaches from the northwest. You should be in the lowest level of your home, an interior hallway or bathroom watching right now. There's the storm path for this storm. As it moves to the south and east, it will cross Interstate 70 and also US 40 between Terre Haute and Rockville, and between Terre Haute and Brazil along 40. There's your hail. Anytime you start talking about golf ball size hail was large enough, but then Dana tennis ball size hail, send any pictures you have to us at WRTV. As you see the strong signature with this moving south and east, that's your tornado threat with that storm. This damaging wind threat from Martinsville all the way toward Greensburg and then south and east. Updates to come, guys.
Dave First, Tony Kanon live at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, keeping a close eye on the weather that's moving in, which curtailed practice a little bit today.
Yeah, for an hour. Cut us off.
So no real big effect, though. We'll talk about that. Trackside 6 coming up.
Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
And welcome back. The most recent report on the storm with the tornado warning is a funnel cloud southeast of Fairview Park in Vermilion County. That just a couple of minutes ago. This warning in effect until 6:45. Indianapolis area no longer in thunderstorm warning. Those thunderstorms, the leading edge of the strong winds now from central portions of Johnson County, Franklin to Shelbyville to Rushville along Interstate 74 toward Greensburg. Let's zoom in. This warning in effect until 6:45. Funnel cloud is exactly that. It's a cloud, not making contact with the ground. Obviously, sometimes very difficult to see that contact. Takes a little while to see debris from the touchdown, but they're watching this closely. Regardless, you should be in the lowest level of your home. You can see right now in this triangle between Terre Haute over to Brazil in northern Clay County, and then Rockville. Rockville in no danger from this. It's to your southwest. It's just leaving Vermilion County and has a history of producing up to tennis ball size hail. There's your circulation. We've been using 41 kind of as a north-south marker just to the east of 41 and about halfway between Terre Haute and Rockville. Storm rolling, barreling to the south and east and about ready to cross US 40 and then I-70 east of Terre Haute, northern portions of Clay County with the potential to produce a tornado. Anywhere within this storm marker, you should be in the lowest level of your home. You're hearing tornado warning sirens. Northern portions of Clay County, as well as Vigo County and Park County. The storm moving to the southeast at about 20 miles per hour. The leading edge here is where you get the blast of wind. Richmond, you're about next to see 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts. Connorsville, Greensburg, and then northern portions of Bartholomew County now. The strong storms rolling to the south and east. We put it in motion. This will push with very heavy rainfall and the gusty winds. Here are the storm reports. All of these with that single storm capable of producing a tornado now in Park County. All of these with the strong winds that have been associated with the storm. See that complex of hail up to tennis ball size hail. There's your threat map this evening. Damaging wind, hail, and an isolated tornado. As you look at the 7-day planner tomorrow, much less coverage for any storms. Warmer at 84. Best day of the weekend, Saturday, 85. Cooler with thunderstorms returning on Sunday. Latest information as soon as we get it, but those of you from Terre Haute to Rockville toward Brazil and Clay County in your basement.
All right, and of course we're monitoring those outages at this hour too. Kevin, thank you. We'll be checking back in.
They're also watching the weather over at the track. It affected your guys' practice today. Dave?
Yeah, cut short by about 90 minutes or so, guys. But TK is also keeping an eye on the temperatures the next couple days.
85 degrees is going to be hot. So basically, the qualifying draw is tomorrow.
Right.
Whoever draws the first few numbers is going to be a huge, huge advantage to be in the fast line. We'll see what happens. You don't have a chance to requalify, so that will be it.
They will qualify beginning Saturday, pole qualifying on Sunday. Take a look what happened. 20-year-old Patricio Award going through turn 2 following Helio Castroneves.
Lost the rear.
Yeah.
And went up in the air, and the car did its job. It was extremely safe. Big props to IndyCar. Didn't go up in the air and went straight back down. He's okay. He's going to be okay for tomorrow.
He came out of the car complaining of some pain in his hands. Otherwise, good to go for tomorrow.
Sometimes, you know, it's not that you did a wrong line. It's just the air was a little different, and when you're going so fast, everything is just so quick, so it's impossible to react. You know, in this one, around this place, I guess, if you get a little moment, it bites. It bites hard.
Such a likable young man. All told, 1,700 laps turned today. A lot of guys working on different programs. Were you able to really get anything out of what happened today?
We did a lot of race work today. I mean, early in the day, the wind started to pick up big time around 3 o'clock, 18 to 20 mile an hour gust, and then a lot of people didn't even run.
There's the no-toe. Ed Jones, I'm telling you what, Ed Carpenter Racing, they came to play this
week. They have a big chance to have 3 cars in the fast night, I can tell you that.
Maybe even sweep the front row. You never know. They just might be that good. All right, so earlier this morning, a very special opportunity out on the 2.5-mile oval. You made us get up very early for this, by the way.
Well, I was up, so you should be up.
Everybody should be up. Biking around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's a special that we've got coming up next week. An opportunity, though, to kind of preview that. That was fun, man.
Yeah, but this is what I do in my mornings that I'm here. Doug Bowles with IMS allows me to just ride around the track from 7 to 8 in the morning. So I sleep here at the track and I get my workout done. But it was cool.
You and the other guys, too. It's a whole race team.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I'm part of this BGI track bike team. It's a local bike shop here that support us. It's a master team, and we have a lot of fast guys, Dave. I mean, if you think I'm fast on the bike, you saw those guys.
That story again next week. It was a lot of fun. Hey, hope you join us tonight. Another Thursday night Trackside 6 special, which will include a rare visit with a 2-time Indy 500 champion, Gordon Johncock. He rarely comes back to Indy, so we went to him, where we found the 82-year-old running his own forestry company, Johncock Forestry, up in South Branch, Michigan. A lot of fun. That story, plus Robert Wickens, Ray Hall's new rides, Like Father, Like Son, with Ryan Hunter-Ray and Ryden Hunter-Ray, a 6-year-old son. That's tonight at 7:30 only, right here on RTV6. Fast Friday tomorrow. Have a great day.
Yep, we'll see you tomorrow.
The news at 6 continues after this.
At MartinAcura.com.
And welcome back. Severe thunderstorm warning from near Columbus through Greensburg until 6:45. Tornado warning now still in effect southern portions of Park, northeast Vigo, northwest Clay County. The latest reports tennis ball size hail near Rosedale. This is now crossing 41 with the potential to produce a tornado at any time.
Thank you, Kevin. As we look back on 70 years of history at Channel 6, we've been primarily focusing on the news department.
But there's been other original programming over the years. Do you remember the Jim Girard Show?
Live from the Channel 6 studios, the Jim Girard Show with Charlotte Daniels, the George Nikoloff Orchestra, and Jim's special guests. And now, here's Jim.
Goodness. We have a lovely audience in the studio today, and I welcome you wherever you are on this Labor Day. I know that many of you are watching us today. Normally you're working at this time of day.
Well, the Jim Girard Show hit the air in 1966. It was a weekday talk show broadcast live from the Channel 6 studio that attracted some of the biggest names at the time. Vice President Hubert Humphrey, Bob Hope, the Gabor sisters, Carol Channing, Liberace, and the amazing Kreskin, just to name a few. And to top it all off, Jim had his own band, the George Nikoloff Orchestra. Jim is now 92 and remembers it fondly.
What happened in the course of a day, get to be about noon, and George would have his musicians warming up, and it would reverberate all around the station, all this wonderful music. Anybody who was anybody, they came to us.
Well, Jim won numerous awards for the show while at Channel 6, including a Casper Award for Public Service. Jim still lives in Indianapolis near his family. And we will keep an eye on those storms that are coming through the area. We will be back on air at 7 o'clock.